side. After you
as realistic as we can provide down here.
And fly against the raft. And we brought about 10 jets to support the 1 squadron.
You know, having that opposition to train against is...
And 120 people to support. So we're here. He showed up here in Australia.
And again, it's because of the aggressive fighter pilots. And
from Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska.
Sweat's flowing, and yeah, we're very busy in the cockpit trying to get the mission.
Here for about 3 weeks at
they're going to punish severely. So
Amberley.
This is actually, you know that they're going to challenge you, and any mistake come down here to support us. Wet on the training field so we don't bleed in the battle. The heart's pumping, those are fantastic. I mean, in the end, it's
What? 107 Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. No tail. It was December 17, 1993, that a crowd first gathered here to greet the nation's most closely kept aviation secret. 82 feet of aircraft, all weighing white and the future of war. The beaties that the dream became a reality. Two spirits made a lasting impression. Men had dreamt that the flying wing was the future of but it wasn't until the early 1930s Weimer and Walter Horton first began to design the outbreak of World War II in 1939. Shroud of secrecy. The brothers continued their groundbreaking work under a By 1941, of a transport wing to help in the planned invasion. In late 1941, his Me-1s of rocket power combined with a flying. Nearly 100 years earlier, the B-29, one man, when two young brothers, that while post-war America continues to build wings for the new Nazi regime with young aviation history. They are exploring the use of, in 1946, Jack Northrop Aviation of Britain and tests his massive 400-mile-per-hour May 1945 B-35 flying wing. Nazi Germany is smashed into submission and pursues his vision. And with it are its hopes and dreams of building up. This aircraft is seen by some a flying wing aircraft. Capable of flying at over 500 miles has taken the American wing off the design boards and in working on his own wing design. When the 1,000 feet, Jack Northrop 6-3 Comet crosses the 6 not just as a bomber. He also 100-mile-per-hour barrier for the first vision for his flying wing isn't time. The potential sees it as a passenger aircraft wing design could change. YB-49's days are not conventional aircraft such as a bird. Although used powered by 4 turboprop engines control it, the U.S. Air Force as the bomber of the future. Far greater loads than conventional aircraft, powered by 8 fly coast to coast in 4 hours. Allison jet engines. The late 1949, this 172-foot wing Span Goliath, Kiskevician, the government orders that all per hour, at a ceiling of 40 and in an unprecedented distance to the air. Jack North feels that as a bomber, because the wing could carry 5, and without computers to help, his airliner would be capable. It is too unstable and capable of carrying 80 passengers with all Northrop YB-49s are an observation lounge and an ability to be destroyed. But the ahead of its time, it is incredibly difficult to fly and dangerous. 2. Emerged in the first American aircraft, the Flying Wing, a bat-wing shape looks destined to be dumped. Lockheed built the S into the circular file of history, SR-71, and gave it radar-absorbing materials. The SR-71 had a nuclear war deterrence. After anything like the Beads was a long-range spy plane, but not 1940s with the X. For that, the innovations that took a leap for B-35, seeing the radar signature meant no tail, some stealth qualities, including a skin with special. United States needed a stealth bomb. Ideas and reduced forward with a paper published in 1960 on a curved design. Died. After use, have rewritten the rules of aircraft design.
The contract was canceled and the Air Force ordered those airplanes all cut up for scrap. Jack proceeded to destroy all that data. Evidence that it would all work because Jack had done the 5 years. He immediately started
by a mathematician on the other side.
He asked technical questions, the wingspan,
Looking behind a complete screen of secrecy, the team of visionaries at Northrop.
The legend goes,
Array is awesome, with over 130 onboard computers controlled
this way, when the YB-49
ahead of anything yet built.
So our design was from scratch with the
controlling every element of the aircraft. The B-2 is like used.
Tears came to his eyes and he said, now I know why God has kept me alive for 20.
A variety of techniques are combined to make this aircraft almost.
And the lift-to-drag ratio and
to continually change shape from whatever angle it is viewed. Are not consistently identical. The aircraft appears thereby confusing the radar, and whatever being the technological tubes coated with special RAM, radar absorbent material invisible to radar. Its smooth surfaces, such as carbon fiber composites, and top surface and shape consists of all curves, yet they are reduced and dissipated into nothing or locked onto it, are either reflected into outer space times less than that of the D-52. Secret reflective paint that for weapons giant the Northrop Corporation combined the stealth that reduces its detection from the enemy. The stealth code was cracked. Finally, its electronic countermeasure design with radar-absorbing paint and materials. Measures such as jamming an enemy's radar make this hair visible to radar. They couldn't hide the price tag, cramped almost undetectable. In fact, plane. At the time, the same secret plant to build the planes and The B-2's radar cross-section is 1,000. Northrop also had to set up a special tops. They could make a plane, and for that, they spent $20 billion on research and $2.13 billion per, but only 21 were ever built as 13 747 developments. That cost was to be spread on passenger jets. Why so much? Just over $1 billion per plane for materials and manufacture, making the B-2 literally the B worth its weight in gold. Then, over the initial order of 132 aircraft, nearly 100 years earlier, 2 feet of aircraft, all weighing no tail. B-2 spirit made a lasting impression, but it wasn't until the early 1930s. Fight and the future of war. Men had dreamt that the flying wing was the future of that the dream became a reality.
Was that whole part of test, and one by one diagnostics for the team was very innovative. All observables, test equipment, and testing the aircraft. You had to scratch various machines, develop special test equipment that this plane is going to send tools to help meet all the criteria. Equipment. We didn't really have lines. It's good to go, innovative, and that's in the engineering developed from and succeed with. Check out that aircraft to get all observable properties.
The 21st
Gain the confidence to be able to predict.
became a case
Yes, we now
study. Even
know
in a $2 billion plane can
you could go fly.
have a fatal flaw.
That was a huge undertaking.
February 20 deployment. Air Force Base in Guam takes off from the USA. 20 B-2s remain. Stalls. 2008. Then, the Spirit of Kansas second to work out at the end of a 4-month. Then they eject. They realize just 7 jet pitches up. The B-2 crashes. The pilots have and bursts into flame. They can save the plane. A wing hits the ground. All is lost. He causes speed sensors. They tell the 17 seconds after takeoff system it's going 14 miles an hour. The culprit? 1 hour faster than its Glom's humidity. Actual acceleration. To malfunction. Enough speed to support their high-pitched takeoff. The onboard computer hands full nose up. But without other B-2 pilots lose lift and crash. Find great comfort in the safe ejection of their colleagues. Wooders, with the Cold War over, they languished. Then, the stealth bomber finally got its chance. Not in Russia or the Middle East, it worked in combat. Some Whiteman, the B-2s sat at the ready for 6 long years. President Clinton calls on Whiteman's B-2 commanders. Wondered if the B-2 would ever be tested. After a decade of nothing did it. After first delivery to practice runs, the stealth bombers on a cold spring morning on March 24, 1999,
by a brutal dictatorship,
in the skies over Yugoslavia, 2 B-2
and to save the stability of the Balkan region.
Prison stealth bombers are about to penetrate enemy airspace, continuous flying. Having Reef finally had the chance to show what they can do. Fueled over the Mediterranean Sea, they move into stealth for the first time. In the cockpits, the 2-man crew was entering its 14th hour of contact mode as the sleek shapes of the B-2s vanish into the night sky. The 2 B-2s separate, one above the other, Enterburner, and no missiles to fire back. The eye. Pilots have no chaff, no flares, no high-speed aft climbing to combat altitude. Begin their carefully choreographed bomb. Only have one thing to protect them, their stealth. The 2 B-2s enter stealth mode. Pilot runs. The B-2